everyone, and happy Friday. I am really glad to be able to end and round out the week with the reading that I have today. It's really interesting. I've been reading, and even though they could be definitely taken personal, when I look at the readings, they are having this flare of the experiences that we are that is going on in our democracy, that's going on in our political world, and there's no reason to shy away from it or to think that the reading isn't apropos, because when I go back to look at it, then I literally can see, oh my gosh, that's what we're dealing with right now, and not as a collective, or in addition to a collective, but also as an individual in the affairs of democracy and our government. And it is weighing heavily upon the people. It's like a conscious energy field of information and expression that's coming through. And so at first I wasn't going to read like that. And then I thought, no, maybe that's what's supposed to happen, because no one is reading like that. And sometimes we get a little, it can be a little touchy to read on things in that particular world. But go figure, that's what it is. Because when I look at the cards today, and I see them, then, oh my gosh, I look and I say, whoo, this is energy that is really aggressive, and we have some aggressive stuff happening. So I'm using the Chrysalis Tarot. The first card that I pulled out was Kali. Interesting. The Tower. Isn't that interesting? The second card I pulled is the Green Man, the Emperor. So I'm sure as you're seeing these cards unfold, you can even begin to see what this is, how this is unfolding. The Seven of Stones. It actually came up reversed, but I'm going to show it to you this way. That's the Seven of Stones. It came up reversed. And the Celtic Owl, which is the Hanged Man, that actually came up reverse. So let's go ahead and break this down, and I'm going to tell you it's definitely dealing with the stuff that we have been focused on energetically as a collective with people. That Tower, the house is coming down, and it's whatever the house is. So if you're taking it personal in your life right now, it could be a foundation that was not conducive. Like you have to expose the true foundation so that you can build correctly, right? So the Tower isn't so bad. It can be a card that many people might feel is really disastrous, or you got to run from it. And there are ways to break up that energy. However, we also need to look at what's happening as the totality of what we are dealing with in our politics. And it's affecting us in our families, because you have family members that are pro this and pro that. And then you have family members that are looking for a certain sort of development. You have family members that are deep researchers and can see the underbelly of some stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So what I will say, based on what's happening right now, a foundation or a house is being torn down to its foundation so that you can see the core of what it is. And interestingly enough, the Emperor is the ruler of the house. So, I mean, who could that be? I'm not afraid to say that this right here really looks like a political scene that's happening. We have a house is being torn down, and the house is being torn down is connected to a particular ruler that has been maneuvering over a house, a government, because that's what the Emperor does. He cares for his government, his subjects. And the Emperor's job is really one of labor and love, really. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that that is happening. It's really interesting. We're getting to see that the Emperor doesn't have any clothes on. And why do we say that? It's because the Seven of Stones comes up reversed. And the stones are actually connected to pentacles. And pentacles is your household, your mundane affairs, your clothes, your car, your job, your business, whatever it is that is important to you. That actually is it's being revealed, right? And so you actually have to acknowledge this aspect of yourself, the naked truth, basically. So the emperor has no clothes, and now you're seeing the naked truth. And here is the hanged man reversed, which I love it. It's the owl. The owl peers, and the owl is perceptive, and the owl is constantly discerning, watching, reviewing, right? However, this person, this experience, everyone has their eyes on this experience. However, people are there's some unrest here. Like we're not staying settled. We're looking for change. People are looking for change as a collective. The owl represents a collective, right? So if the collective is looking for change and they are standing there, they're watching right now, the fact that it's reversed, I'm going to show it to you reversed, is that it's individual in the collective is now moving. They're shifting. They're not in the same position. They're not being stagnant anymore. So it's really about finding your resource, finding your money, finding your foundation, your stability, so that you can take care and first take care of what you rule, which is your own peace of mind, right? And you can rebuild this house so that you're not in the calamitous situation any longer. And you do not suffer with having having Kali's hand in the mix. And it's interesting, the goddess Kali, and people see her as a fiery goddess with the many hands and the tongues and the fiery eyes, and the reality is that she is caring for her children. She actually comes back to destroy those that have hurt the children, that have hurt her family. That's the job of Kali, which is what I find really interesting. And what is she tearing down? The old thing, the foundation that has hurt families. Oh my gosh, I love this. And she's attacking the men that have done this, that have sat in positions where they're supposed to care for their kingdom subjects, like family. They haven't, so she's pulling that down. And Kali is exposing, by that tower coming down, she's exposing the activities, so that you're beginning to see people for who they really are. And in doing so, when you see a person for who they really are, you can accept them for who they are and then begin to work with that. Or you can shift. But nonetheless, it's taking a different position. You may be at a position where you say, I see what's going on, so now I'm going to have more empathy. Because the watcher doesn't really have any empathy. The watcher watches and has discernment. However, there may be empathy that's now needed for the whole circumstance, that people need to become more involved in more heartfelt, compassionate response to one another. That's the only way that you cool the energy and the tyrannical experience of Kali. And that's the only way that the house gets built up and we begin to feel like everyone's being cared in the household under the emperor. So anyways, that is today's reading. I am going to share this with you. If you would like to learn more about what I do, you can definitely visit my website, Michaela-Rena.com. And we have the Witches School of Tarology. The Witches School of Tarot is open. We're taking open enrollment. School starts, orientation starts first week of February. So definitely get in there. Really excited to be able to do this again for the 2021 year. Start the year off right, understanding and knowing how to work, read, and enjoy the knowledge and discernment with the tarot. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. Da, 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 da. Blessed be. Ashe.